Astrea's choice this time. I'm going to go ahead and give my tenuous thumbs up on the Reaper wall when going for the third base. Just doing whatever you can to keep the Terran in the dark. But at some point, it's going to become a liability, and that point is going to come very early on. As here we see a Cyclone, high ground vision going to be provided. Does he lock on? He hasn't actually decided to lock on. The auto attack of the Cyclone is just fine here. And, yep, well, there you go. Warp Gate did finish, but into the natural! Oh, no! Well, Citizen's Arrest. How many probes? 2 probes so far, that's it. Cure getting chased down. Astrea beset on all sides. Lock on to the high ground. The Stalkers doing what they can. 4 probes so far. And well, here's a tank. And the Reaper wall becoming quite a liability. He has to rebuild the Cyber Core. He's just giving up on that for the most part. Trying to get whatever shots he can, but the tank is really not going to help things. Yeah, Cure really working this angle, and Astrea at some point is going to have to cut his losses. I think it's right around now. Well, Cure putting on a clinic on how to use that Reaper wall against the Protoss. And the robotics facility is also in a pretty precarious position here in the front. Shield battery well placed, gets the medevac there, an important part of keeping those Marines intact. Immortal. Barrier is already activated, and that means that extra shielding not going to be a part of this. Banshee into the main. Cure running him around, tearing him apart. There's a disruptor on the way. The tank slamming into the Immortal. There's no more energy on the shield battery. No cloak on the Banshee here, which is kind of a big deal because he's going to lose the Banshee. Well, that's not ideal. Yeah, he wanted that Banshee alive. A cloak Banshee definitely could have made a big difference here. That means Astrea will have a chance to break out. Fires a shot onto the tanks. Only gets 1. Picks it off. Shield battery overcharged for now. Gonna use it while he can. And Colossus on the way out, trying to buy time for another Ruptor shot, but the tanks continue to press the issue on the front line. The robotics facility, so this trend of Protoss players walling off with their most important buildings, I'll say it. It's gotta stop. Okay? The Reaper wall seemed like a good idea right up until any other factory unit showed up. The Disruptor gonna find a hit, but there's still 2 tanks. Astrea's up to 60 probes. Cure just flies. There is an observer. You didn't notice before because he lost the Banshee. Oh, there's another Banshee in the back line, though. With the cloak, making things incredibly difficult. Airball on the Disruptor shot. Well, he still has 60 probes, though that number is being whittled down. Cure hasn't yet dealt critical damage, but he has dealt a lot of damage. Behind it, Cure's taken his 3rd command center. He's a bit supply blocked. In fact, he's hard supply blocked. He has no depots on the way, and he is at 93 out of 94. So Cure dropping the production ball a bit as he picks up the micro one. But 15 probes in the last minute will lose that final Banshee. So I think there we saw the difference between Cure and say Byun. Cure with a great strategic timing, but doesn't quite lay down the killing blow. And that means Astrea will survive. He actually managed to get a surprising amount of economy and production, despite the pressure that was being put on. So Astrea lives through it all. The one thing he doesn't have is a forge. And without a forge, he's not going to have upgrades. And without upgrades, he's going to have trouble competing with this bio-based army here out of Cure. But very importantly, the first step to not losing is being alive. And he actually survives with all his bases intact. So Cure gets out with all but 1 tank. He escapes with enough tanks to zone out for quite a while. Astrea gonna take a 4th. There's already +1 infantry weapons. But we go back to our corners. We're going to chill for a bit. Banshee trying to come in again. Not going to happen. Still no forge out of Astrea. This is almost going to end up being like a 3-base all-in. Where he's... I know he's taking a 4th. I am aware. But at some point, you need the upgrades. Or to do critical damage. And I think Astrea is agreeing with that. But it's... Oh, God. 9.5-minute forges. Oh, not ideal. Ooh, the army going to be spotted by the Prism. No combat shield yet for Kier, as he focused so much on that heavy tech. He wasn't really adding on the bio upgrades until as late as possible. But now he has them. Kier has his 5 Rex. Astrea's at 7 gates. And he did put a couple Colossi on the field. He's building double Ruptor now. And Disruptor's definitely a dangerous option against Kier if he doesn't have those tanks sieged up. Oh no, the Warp Prism, the only thing that might be keeping him at home, but the Disruptor shot! Oh, center mass! Oh, certainly, well, oh God. Well, the Disruptor's doing exactly what you'd expect them to do against everyone who isn't Byun or Maru. The charge lots drew some attention away, just a 2 charge lot counter, and Kier just got face checked right there by the Disruptor shots. Ooh. And that's a lot of breathing room. That was tanks, that was some of his economy, though he didn't lose many SCVs. He did exactly... Astrea did everything he needed to do there. He kept his base alive, he blunted the attack, he drew Kier back, and he killed key units. He didn't just kill Marines and Marauders. He got, he got another tank with that. Several Marauders. Mostly Marines and Marauders, okay. But Astrea's Dark Templar control. I think we're going to have to reevaluate some of our player cards with the new year. As the defining characteristic for Astrea has been the DTs in many of these matchups. And it kind of seems weird because DTs are not a particularly nuanced unit. It's not just about the micro, but about the timing with Dark Templar. Knowing when to send them in and how. And all the upgrades are now finishing. And by all the upgrades, I mean Prism Speed, 1-1 for Astrea, +2 for Cure, 1 Dark Templar. All the tanks are at the back. And with all the tanks back, I think Astrea can feel a little more confident in fighting this army. The Widow Mines spotted and sniped by the Ruptors. The tanks are the only thing that really punishes an overextension here. There's no ghosts yet, but they're being added in. Still back at home for now. The vision for Astrea is pretty good, even though he only has... Well, he has 3 observers. I'm not sure where they're hanging out right now. He's using zealots for most of his vision. I think he has some with the armies. Yeah. They're still... Oh, well. One of them is hanging out with the Banshee at the back of the base. Astrea is sitting in a solid position here, as Kier has been unable to convert his advantage early into a deadly attack. And that means, I think on almost even footing, we're going into the mid to late game. We're going into both players being maxed out, but without the full upgrades and the full army composition. This is when you have huge amounts of units traded out, but relatively weak ones compared to the late game, Liberators and Carriers and stuff like that. So we'll see if either side can take a decisive advantage, as Astrea is setting himself up. Disruptors on the left flank and on the right, but the tank push is coming forward. Will Astrea notice before the tanks are already set up? Disruptor shots fired. He's gonna lose half the tanks. Not an ideal start to this push. At some point, the charge lot count is just going to get too high, and if Astrea collapses his entire army on all this, Kier does not have enough here. This is a lot of supply, but not nearly enough to win a fight. All it's doing is trying to keep Astrea busy, but he fires 3 shots and he takes out all the tanks. And with that, Kier will be forced back. Astrea now sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 next eye. Yes, you know what? Count with me. That's right? Yes. Okay. fusion core on the way. That, as much as I'd love to see battle cruisers, that's for advanced ballistics, as well as the +1 ship weapons. Liberator's going to be joining the field very soon, if Cure remembers to build them in time. +2 ship weapons is key, as that +2 ship weapons means you 2-shot stalkers, or 1-shot after EMP. No matter what their upgrades are. So that's a huge DPS increase. Usually it takes 3 hits to kill those stalkers. And Liberators don't fire that fast. So that means ground-based anti-air is almost... And Archons have... their range is barely more than their shouting distance, and they don't have mouths, so they can't really close that very quickly, especially with ghosts on the field. Another Ruptor. Oh my god, sure. Oh my god. It's as bad as it could have gotten. He ate a huge hit to his bio and then lost the ghost. Another shot. Another connection. Onto the SCVs. 9 of them go down alongside the planetary fortress. The reinforcements intercepted by the purification novas. And Astrea still has a few in the bank right now. Kira trying to close the distance, but he loses all his SCVs. It's a disaster for the Korean Terran. There's even a few DTs in the mix. Kira shying away from the fight as he knows the disruptor count is so damn high. Another shot forces him back past the turret. Some Liberators are showing up, but maybe too little and too late as Astrea pressing the issue. A great split, 0 for 2 on the disruptors. Another one, 0 for 3, losing more and more. Cure, finally backed up against a wall, manages to dodge everything here. There's a Banshee at the back. The Banshee lived through all this. I'm pretty sure it was an F2 situation. Astrea just warped in 17 more Zealots. So he smells blood in the proverbial water here. Astrea now knows he has the economic advantage. Let's look at that income tab. Astrea now 2,100 resources despite, well, I think mules are going to even that up soon. But he's got to press the issue. Before Cure can bring all those mules to bear, before he can get the Liberator count up or even advanced ballistics, which he's neglected to start, he's building 4 Liberators at a time. He's producing only Liberators. He has a limited amount of minerals, and it's Liberators. That's the choice. He needs enough of them to cover his bases, literally and figuratively, against this army. The Disruptors are far too dangerous. More Liberators. Ooh, Disruptor shot. You heard the ghost die. He's going for more, but those Liberators are doing a lot of damage to the Stalkers. The DTs get scouted out. Disruptor shot. They're all finding connections. Ooh, it hurts. But the Liberators are doing enough to zone him out for now. But look at Astrea's bank. 4,300 minerals in the bank, and he's maxed out. That's another 100 supply of Zealots waiting for their opportunity. The Liberators they have enough ammo, but they can't fire enough shots. The Liberation Zones are covering everything, but it's still not enough. The Stalker count is too damn high. And Cure, he had such a great position early on, but Astrea blasted him out of it. The Liberators were too late. The bio wasn't enough, and Astrea holds the line as Cure struggles to deal with Disruptors. Oh, I think Astrea's showing he can compete there. Cure just... Astrea really pressed the weak points, and the weak points are the micro for Cure. On any front. He had such a nice lead off that early attack, but he couldn't convert it into an overall victory. And I don't think going in game 2, that's going to be particularly heartening here. That's a rough one to lose as a Terran, because you know how much you've done. You know how much you've broken through. And he knew how much of a window he had to capitalize, but I'm sure a lot of the Terrans out there can empathize. One Disruptor can turn that all around. Where's this? Okay, it's just a very early... Wait, that's an NG Bay block. Ah! I said. I declared. Ah! Indeed. But... Well, Astrea's scouring his base. He's gonna find the SCV. He's gonna give him a chest bump there before he even realizes what's going on. So he's gonna have every opportunity to pull probes. Slow this down. Well, this is not as much of a block as maybe Kira was hoping for. Trying to get a few more, slap a few more 2x4s into it, but and he does cancel. Oh, come on. Get out of here, Kira. Come on. Come on. Come on. What are you doing? That's enough, sir. You've had too much. That was a spite bay right there. No engineering involved, just pure spite. I don't think that was worth it, except for the emotional consideration of, well, guess what? I can do it again. But was it worth it? Eh. Astrea handling that beautifully. Orbital. Well, not yet orbital, but the second command center being built, hidden from any scouts at the wall. Same with the second Rex, which is probably the most important part of all this, as the second Rex really indicates the direction Kira wants to take this match. And he wants to take it with a bunch of Marines. This is a classic Terran maneuver. 2 more Rex on the way. So what flavor is this gonna be? Are we just looking... Oh, what am I watching? Oh, that's pretty sus. He's doing the warp over the top. But... Oh, you see that? I guess Kira... Where's he going? Well, there's an adept. Yeah, Astrea just 3 gate here. Against a 3 Rex. And the 3 Rex has not been scouted, but obviously the gateway aggression has. So, I think this is good for Kira. As he's going to have just straight up gateway units lose to Byun. They just do. That's how it is. You need those power units or great upgrades. But in just a straight up fight, gateway units against Marine Marauder, well, this is going to get awkward because now the Stalkers are warping in, which can slow this down. He got the shields off the pylon. It's going to be a bit of a numbers game. I don't think Astrea will be risking a warping onto the high ground unless he commits to an attack, or at least on Kira's side of this particular canyon. Very tense. Very tense moment. As everyone knows, this is the beauty of StarCraft. The poker game that is StarCraft. How committed are you really, Astrea? He's gonna see the Marauder count. Like, that is far too many Marauders for 1 or 2 ranks. It's time to go home, he says. The Reaper gets out after killing 2 probes. Yeah, these units will get caught and killed if he's not careful. In fact, Kira prioritized concussive shot. So the intent was to catch and kill as many early gateway units as possible. A stim is permanent damage anyway. You don't want to just be stimming all over the place. Not until those medevacs come out and then stim to your heart's content. Alright, Kira. What are we doing? Does he commit up the ramp? The shield battery is not done. That should be enough force field to severely discourage this, and a Guardian shield would help. It's a bit of an odd unit count, as that is enough bio to kill this. I think he'll go. Yeah, there's the stim, but the force fields aren't enough here. Shield battery overcharge, though. Yeah, that didn't work out in time. Oh, Astrea does have that observer spotting all this. Not great. He had to give it a shot, I think, but... It ain't it. How long on the medevacs? It's gonna be a bit. He's just now starting the starport. Got a factory building the obligatory reactor. Astrea already has a Colossus and extended thermal lance halfway done. So, yeah, he can put himself out there. That Colossus is a little vulnerable, but Stim is permanent damage until those medevacs come out, so he knows that it's going to be a huge commitment to fight into this. Oh, Cure! He snuck out here. The Marauder's in an awkward spot. A bit of a weird flank, but Astrea has not yet spotted this. He stims the back line. Oh, there's Terran everywhere! He gunned down the Colossus! A beautiful flank from Cure! The map is dark and full of Terrans. Well, apparently not enough Terrans to kill the whole army. His Guardian Shield is quite good, but he got the Colossus, and he snapped up a bunch of the army. A win for Cure overall, as he can limit those power units. He can limit the Colossus count, and as long as it's 2 or less, you can fight it with Bio. 3 Colossi is when you start roasting Marines in a single swipe. And, of course, it doesn't do terrible damage against Marauders. It really does stack up. So, if he can keep that Colossus count down, then he still has an opportunity to wield these. Okay, he's roaming around like it's that co-op mission with the trains right now. Looks like, so we got a pack of Marauders, sir. They're sending another train at a very inconvenient timing. What do you want to do? Well, I think this one might be hard to catch. Cure loads up the medevac, and he's like, you know what? Maybe I should heal these guys a little. As half his units in autumn colors. Astrea? That is an incredibly suspicious scan. Blink is not done, so it goes ahead and boosts away. Well, probe in the front. Astrea's always very good about that. He understands keeping vision and how important it is. In fact, I believe an observer just died. An observer just got scanned on the left flank. So now Astrea is once again in the dark. He's building observers before any additional Colossi. He's got the spotter pylons on the edge. He's adding more gates. But Cure, look at that supply right now. He's got 60 workers, which puts him in a pretty comfortable position. Look at the y-axis. That's only like 600 resources per minute. Not a huge number at this stage of the game. Dark Shrine on the way. Forge. Second Forge, actually. We got a Prism with Speed Prism upgrade on the way as well. Ghost Academy completes as both sides. A tenuous... Oh my god, 9 probes to a Widowmine. Oh. Nobody expects the Widowmine drop at the 9-minute mark. That actually is a significant blow to Astrea. This is right when he wants to essentially stop probes. Like, 70 probes? 3 bases? Good. Build that army. Deal with the Terrans. But he gets undercut right as all the tech in production comes online. We got... Yeah, Cure is looking for any opportunity right now. I think he's going to find one, as there's a very minimal amount of units across the board. Dark Templar again. Astrea's the signature here. Keeps a couple Templar, and he goes for Blink every time. He wants those Blink Templar. He's going to do what he can to keep Cure busy, attention-wise and with his units. And not too many units draw attention like Dark Templar do. Yep. Drop it into the main with the Speed Prism. What's the play from Cure? No, the Scouting Colossus! Oh! Thankfully for... Oh my god. Thankfully for Astrea, there's a Marine that spots it, but DT's in the natural, DT's in the main, DT's in the third, and Cure, despite having a 50 army supply advantage, is pulling back. It's doing exactly what it needs to do right now. It's keeping Cure busy, it's buying time, and keeping the army off the map. Though a little sloppy here, losing a couple DTs to a single scan. He kills 19 SCVs. So now what Astrea needs to do is survive the counterattack. He's done the damage. He's kept the army busy, but what am I watching here? No, the Colossus! The army's just strung out. Astrea was not paying close attention to anything here. Oh no, he loses a couple Colossi, though the army is shredded enough by the charge lots. Shredded? Is that what I was going for? I guess. And he's killing his own stalker in order to kill... No, sir! Sir! Sir, the mine's dead! Sir! He got the Widow Mine. It looks like you're unable to get critical damage. Oh, EMP. EMP lands, almost gets the Prism, but not quite. So he's going to be able to get the DTs out and buy even more time. And Cure's struggling to contend with this. Another DT into the main. That Speed Prism. Oh my god. It's so fast. And he gets out with the Speed Prism. Now Astrea has the double Ds of destruction. He's got the Dark Templar and the Disruptors. So he's got everything he needs to turn the tables on Cure. As Cure has already shown a severe weakness to both of these things. Without the Ruptors, though, the Bio Army is more than strong enough. A Disruptor shot will announce the times of fun have ended for Cure, though he might argue it's been a while since he's had that. There's 5 medevacs and about 2 medevacs of bio units underneath them. Cure still maintains a significant army supply lead, but his map control has slipped. He has not been able to, once again, just like last game, he has not been able to translate that lead into a decisive victory, either economically or in general. As Astrea has undercut with the DTs, he finally, okay. Oh my god. He still gets a bunch of and there's a DT. He blinked out of the mine. Oh, a Doom drop heading for the main, and Astrea does not see it. A bit of a desperation move out of Cure, despite being up by so much supply. Oh my god, so many SCVs dying. The Bio Army on the right flank, trying to draw anything he can out of position. So far, doing a pretty good job of it. Another shot. Oh no, that one hits. He goes into the main. There's no energy on the Nexus. He can't recall here. And that means the main base could be gutted. There's still a DT in the main base of Cure. Okay, well, there goes the Nexus. For now. That opens up the opportunity for the charge lots to get in, though. And without Disruptors, this army is going to be very difficult to dislodge. The Forges are here. There's not that many. Oh, he's going to get one of them. I don't know how many ghosts were in that medevac, but Astrea gets supply blocked. He loses a Nexus, though probably the least important one at this stage of the game. Another Nexus with probes transferring. I don't know what you expected. Cure has the army. He has the map. He can keep... Oh, he just has to dodge a few Ruptor shots. Oh. He's got no Liberators on the way. 7 DTs just warped in and headed across the map. I don't know if he knows, but he's stimming on top of the Ruptors. He goes straight for it, and every shot is gunned down. That wasn't enough. Shield battery overcharge helping here. Actually, the Colossi will hold. They managed to hold. I don't know if he saw the DTs. Oh, Astrea knows about that turret. There's only one turret on the left flank. There's still the DT in the main. But it's nowhere... Is it close enough to hit anything? No, nothing walks by it, so he hasn't noticed. Back into the main. Very suspicious scan, but you can't recall to a non-existent Nexus. Astrea still on the ropes here. Relying on the DTs to buy time and space. And he blunts on the army. The Widow Mines are not burrowed, and the DTs slice apart the reinforcements. The medevacs in the main forced to pick up and retreat, but the Blink Stalkers catch one. And the DTs are still eviscerating mineral lines. He blinks out of the Widow Mine and gets 10 more SCVs in the process. The rest are going to get away. A single survivor, or a single DT sacrifice. It's just 2 Colossi and 3 Disruptors. I say just. Well, a few charge lots join him. Astrea refuses to give up on this. As we continue, Astrea has been struggling against the actual army. He hasn't been able to move out with anything but DTs. EMP catches a few, but the rest of the units get away before the concussive shells can connect. Oh my. Cure is desperate to get something done, but he doesn't have any liberators in production. With no liberators, how is he going to fight the Ruptors? You're not Byun. I'm sorry. I figured it out. I managed to tell that this is indeed not Byun. So without liberators, he's going to have to rely on tearing him apart with the drops here. As Astrea has very limited supply, he EMPs the Nexus to make sure no recall. An EMP could potentially just, he just scans the DT. He's going to slow it down. More units on this right flank. That's not a planetary yet. Disruptor shots point blank, targeted down. Another shot down. Losing a lot of disruptors. DTs into the natural. The main base starting to come apart, but Astrea's mustered some reinforcements. Oh no, but the Colossi are caught out by some more Marauders. He takes down the planetary. It falls. DTs in the main. EMP catches everything. Astrea on the run here, though. He shadow strides away. Recalls a couple Archons. EMPs just slice him apart, but he still gets an Archon out. The drops into the main. Only a couple survivors. Cure still gets away with a huge army supply. Astrea still on the ropes, but he still has Disruptors and Colossi. The Nexus EMP'd. No recall possible. Astrea's recalled Archon dies immediately. A little bit ahead of things. Definitely select all army. Cure is one good fight. He doesn't even need a fight. He's bleeding him out right now. Overall, Cure is struggling to outright win fights, but he may have the war. As time goes, oh no, Astrea. There's so much bio. He's got 136 army supply. Astrea's closing in. And that means the left flank is opened up for Cure here. There is no recall. The army is on the wrong side of history. The EMPs across the board. Shield battery overcharge won't save you. The probes are dead. And with it, most of Astrea's economy. He's only got the third base really mining now. It's gonna be a base trade. The best chance scenario here is get on the production and try to cut off reinforcements. Only one disruptor. He's gonna try to survive. The disruptor about to get targeted down. Charge lot slicing through. Second disruptor on the way. Still a minute on recall. Disruptor pops out of the robo. The entire army chases it. He keeps stimming his units a lot, but a huge army supply lead. Oh my god, he shoots his own zealots in the face. Astrea, a bit strung out here when it comes to dealing with the reinforcements. It looks like Cure will come away with a victory. A hard fought. Oh, he shoots the Colossus in the foot to kill the LCVs. A hard fought game. Another disruptor. Down. Dead. Nothing left. Cure's bio ball will roll through. There's not enough left for Astrea. There's no amount of disruptors on the field. Well, actually, that's a true statement. There's no disruptors left. They're all dead. And without disruptors, so Cure never really won a decisive battle. It's just he's been able to maintain enough army supply. The Marauder gets the Colossus. Okay, wait a second. There's still ghosts, right? Yeah, there's 7 ghosts. Yeah, the DTs aren't going to do it. He can EMP the DTs, even if the orbitals are lifted. In which case, there's actually no landed orbitals right now, but EMP exists, so. Because Terrans need even more built-in detection for free. That also strips away shields. Either way, goes straight for there's 2 turrets, though. Unfortunately here. And, well, the planetary's still in range. GG, Cure. Despite the volleys, the broadside. What a bloodbath. Oh my. Cure manages to lock it down and end up. Jimmy! No, this one. Yes. He ties it up. A 1-to-1 series. What a beautiful mess. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this one. Jimmy's picked it out just for you. Yes, you, not them. But thank you for watching. A truly fun NA match. Like, subscribe, all that. I hope I made your day a little bit better. Good luck, have fun. Stay tuned.